the financial results of the Trust for the 2014-15 financial year. During the year ended 31st of March 2015, the Trust received just over £268 million in income, which is an increase of 2.2% on last year. A significant majority of the Trust's income, nearly 92%, relates to clinical activity, which is directly related to the treatment of patients. On this chart, other income relates to items such as research and development and external catering and pharmacy services, where these services are provided outside the Trust. 92% of the income received for clinical activities, which equates to £227.5 million, is paid to the Trust by clinical commissioning groups, or CCGs.
The host commissioner for the Trust, Wigan Borough CCG, paid £177 million for services provided to patients who live within the borough.
We have also seen an increase in operational expenditure during the year, with nearly £273 million being spent. This is an increase of 3.6% when compared to last year, which is greater than the increase that we have seen on income.
Pay costs are the largest element of expenditure that the Trust incurs.
And during the year, £177 million was spent on paying the staff of the Trust. This equates to 65% of operational expenditure. As you would expect, spend associated with clinical services and supplies, including drugs, accounts for the second largest element of spend, and during the year the Trust spent £50.5 million on such items.
Nearly £5 million was spent on orthopaedic implants.
Nearly £20 million was spent on drugs.
Efficiencies and savings generated through the Trust's cost improvement programme are critical to the financial success of the organisation. In the year, just under £12 million of savings were generated, which was just below plan. The audited accounts for the Trust show a deficit position of £9.3 million, and as in previous years, the reported figure, in line with national guidance and reporting standards, include an item called impairments. Impairments must be included within the income and expenditure statement of the Trust and are a non-cash item that represents the value of assets that are no longer used by the organisation or represent a change in the value of assets due to economic changes. During the year, a complete revaluation of the Trust buildings was undertaken, which resulted in an impairment. The total value of impairments in the accounts is £8.5 million. In order to gain a better understanding of the Trust's financial performance relating to operational activities, impairments are excluded. When the impact of impairments is excluded, the trading position for the Trust for the year was a small deficit of £0.8 million. This is the first time since the Trust became a foundation trust that the organisation has reported a deficit position for the year. The Trust continues to invest in buildings and equipment, and during the 2014-15 financial year has spent £26.7 million on capital items. This is over £17 million more than was spent during the previous financial year.
During the year, the Trust has continued with the Phase 1 development on the Wrightington site.
Opened the Cancer Care Centre.
Completed the building of our brand new fertility centre at Wrightington Hospital.
Finally, Monitor, the Foundation Trust Regulator, rates the financial strength of the organisation as a going concern using the Continuity of Services risk rating. For the 2014-15 financial year, the Trust was rated as 3, the second highest possible.
Looking forward, the NHS is currently facing a financial challenge. And in addition, locally, we have the challenge of implementing Healthier Together and working with commissioners on the Manchester Devolution project. These are all happening, and the Trust needs to be as solid as it can be to rise to these challenges and to ensure that we continue to provide high-quality services to our patients.